place is buzzing.
That's right. This venue is a miniature representation of that time known as the era filled with boundless possibilities.
Grab a bottle of So Glad and make your drink.
Nameless, your arrival reminds me of the grand occasion when Penacony was first established. I was still a young, bright-eyed lad back then, lured here by the watchmaker's ads, full of zeal and ready to make my first fortune in life. Once, during a particularly grueling day, I passed out and was resuscitated by a drink from Mr. Sousa. That sweet taste has since been etched in my mind, and that was what drove me to the dream-chasing era. Was truly a wondrous time. Oh, I miss those days, and the watchmaker. Scorched Sand Hall is I wholeheartedly hope you make it to the finish and emerge as the next superstars of Penacony. Now, that's the trailblazing spirit.
Hello, everyone! Next up, get ready for the Mega March 7th adventure!
Trailblazing into the uncharted and challenging the limits. That's Miss March 7th for you. How about Miss Firefly?
I hope that by the end of this journey, everyone will...
A wonderful wish. Miss Himiko, what are you expecting from your team?
Safety first, everybody.
Simple words waiting for you are 3 stages, each connected to that era. The first 2 stages offer 2, and in the last stage, you will face off against a champion who has defended those are the rules. Simple. Everyone clear? Now, I hereby announce that the 33rd Scorch...
Everyone, as the Charmony Festival is drawing closer, we must reach the end as quickly as possible. Factoring in efficiency and safety, March and I haven't known Miss Firefly for too long and aren't overly familiar with her. It'd probably be better...
Fine by me. Let's do it.
All right. I don't have a problem with that.
We'll split into the assigned groups then.
Welcome to the first stage of Soul Glad Enterprises' 33rd Scorched Sand Festival of the 20th. In the School of Acting Challenge, you have to complete 3 performances from 3 scripts and move the panel judges. In the School of Action,
The champion's crown awaits you on the stage. Welcome to the arena of action stars.
Competitors, allow me to introduce the rules. There are a total of 3 stages up ahead, each with their own challenges. The enemies you will contend against are antagonists from the film Once Upon a Time in Dream. It's worth mentioning that the fastest time for this stage was achieved by a contestant with fiery red hair.
Time is of the essence.
Contestants, you are about to confront the monsters of the primordial dreamscape. During this, as dream chasers who've come to Penacony,
of the Soul Glad is on.
Harmony and unison.
Soul Glad!
Pretty simple. I just hope these tests don't take...
Congratulations on becoming the first group of Dream Chasers! Answering the call from the Watchmaker, you are disappointed to learn that Penacony isn't paved with just as you're about to give up. A downpour sparks a...
Why is our opponent...
Because this is Soul Glad Enterprises.
Isn't this just product...
To safeguard the integrity of Soul Glad, I will soar high. The world kisses me with pain, and I provide with Soul Glad.
Congratulations to our two Dream Chasers for establishing as no matter how lengthy the battle,
None will take my Soul Glad away. Oh, Dennis, grab a bottle of Soul Glad!
Dangerous thoughts. Harmony and unison.
The body withers, but the soul... Ah! You truly are a beast!
That should do it! Isn't this fight way off from the actual storyline?
transforming into a dinosaur isn't imaginative enough for you? This is the sort of magic only seen after an extended battle. You finally emerged victorious! In the years that followed, you encountered each other once more on the prosperous streets of Penacony, but dared not call out to one another. Ah, well done! You brought to life the thrilling action scenes from Once Upon a Time.
Looks like we won. Let's hurry up and get to the next stage.
Congrats to both of you, but look at the time! You finished...
That red-hair contestant.
You'll find out eventually, but only if you clear the next test first. Welcome to the second stage of the 33rd. You have the option to choose gunfire and undergo Brother Hanu's trial, or time now. Dear friends, welcome to the wonderful world created by the... It's said that the watchmaker dreamed up the idea of Clocky when he was just a boy. Back then, he was merely an apprentice in a clock shop. And one night, he dreamt that all the broken clocks started sprouting arms and legs. Like a skilled pilot, he steered them towards the right path. As a classic figure who grew up with many Clocky contestants, may you have a
The trial of time. I hope it won't waste...
Just a failed experiment!
That statue. Did it just speak? I know that this may sound like an exaggeration, but Penacony is actually
Oh, another group of opportunistic challengers. Sorry, though I may be you guys are just like the other challengers. You want to enter my inner self? Then see, I'm just empty.
Tick-tock! It's time for me to make an appearance!
Clocky? I can...
In Dreamville, Clocky is everywhere and can do anything!
I can't believe it's actually Clocky.
You see, we're all clocks.
I came across a startling revelation yesterday. Please, just leave me be, Clocky.
Oh dear. Seeing it like this is...
I guess...
Don't worry, miss. I've already pinpointed its missing parts. Over here, my friends. Better use that hamster ball night speed. This must be one of the missing parts that Big Tinker needs. We're here. There's a missing part on the opposite side. But how do we get over there?
There's also a dream side left here by a Dreamweaver. We're running out of time. We'll have to use it if necessary.
For the fear of the mediocre.
you're so...
Tweet! Is anyone there?
Oh, dear!
Is that clock?
A roasted bird?
Dangerous thought. May you find peace in song. Thank you, guys!
Thank goodness you're okay!
Because that fella stole one of Mr. Big Ticker's pots! Tweet! I wanted to help retrieve it, but I accidentally stuck it in the oven! Tweet!
An inner self fragment belonging to the Sweet Dreams troupe? This is just too surreal.
As long as you have these, you'll be able to find... We're back! We're back! Whoa! It's working! Tick-tock! Next... What? I'm not qualified to be the real Clocky! No! Success! Thank you, Clocky. If not for you, no problem at all. As the guard... my friends, you still have other important things to go forth, my friends. When the moment comes, all the dream to...
It's all done! Victory's in sight. Let's head to the final stage.
Congratulations to both of you! Oh, you've overcome. In the final stage, you will face the defending champion. If you fail, you will lose. Welcome to the 33rd Scorch Sand Festival's third stage in the 20...
this symbol of pure
Data switch net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Here, try this. Thanks for the support.
Test. 0 points. Let the duel commence. Put forth all your might. Rise to the challenge.
Time to make a decision. Ready for another?
Rise
Press
to
them
the
inside it.
challenge.
Deeper.
Not bad. 5 points. Answer me.
Tonight. Stars echo. No more time.
Say-us per knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Commencing research.
Your answers? Test. 0 points. Pledge thy live.
Enemy targets detected. Ready for another?
Rise to the challenge. Bear witness to
Enemy data switch net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
your fighting and gentlemen.
Press them inside it. Here, try this.
I'm asking questions. Answer me. 0 points.
I hope for an end to strife in the world.
Confess. Put forth all your might.
To travel far away. Commencing throat is feeling much better.
Rise to the
Commencing
challenge.
research.
Your answers?
Tonight. Stars echo. No more touch. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
SAS per knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood. Rise to the challenge. 0 points.
We don't have much time. May fate allow us to meet again. In that case, let's make our way to the end. Penacony's really thronging with talent. I hope we make it in time.
Congratulations to the both of you on becoming the festive superstars of I. On behalf of the organizers, extend my sincere congratulations to you. As previously promised, my sister, Mr. Yang, and I have met with the Dream Master. We delved into the truth about Penacony, and both I and the Oak family cannot acquiesce to your request. We acknowledge the perspective of you, Nameless. Penacony does require change, but not as you propose. The planet of festivity. Through your journey of overcoming obstacles, you must have glimpsed the essence of that era. The vulnerable ruthlessly eliminated, equality non-existent, common folk. Ultimately, only heroes like yourselves, man. But I would dare ask, if you did not possess the special status of having a Stellaron, and you were but an anonymous and frail member among the masses, which a dystopia for the survival of the fittest, or a sweet dream paradise for all?
That's not the point! Don't let him mislead you!
Mr. Sunday, even if the members of the Oak family can't fully agree on what to do about the Stellaron, now's not exactly the time to be holding an extensive discourse. The Stellaron issue concerns the life and death of everyone on Penacony. If anyone has a better suggestion, the crew is more than willing to list this way. We'll at least know what Welt and Miss Robin are dealing with, and the reason why they failed to make our appointment.
Ah, Navigator. That is precisely my intention. With all present, let's talk about our tribulations and choices. And our final course of action.
You mean to say that for the longest time, there have been scoundrels who would use the Charmony Festival that I have bequeathed to the masses as a tool to realize their ambition?
Indeed, Dream Master. Once the Charmony Festival begins, the Stellaron's powers, along with the song, will be broadcast across the entire planet of Penacony. And then everyone in their dreams will be unable to awaken.
This is indeed surprising to me. The dreamscape is maintained by the collective effort of the 5 families. If someone were to use the Charmony Festival to do you have any...
I'd like to ask, did you really not know of the Stellaron's
I would have never thought that this nameless...
If I have offended, the Astral Express extends its sincere apologies. But the current circumstances are dire and leave no room for meticulous inquiry. We're doing this...
Dream Master, it's just to prove that the Charmony Festival has nothing to do with the Stellaron. If we're being overly cautious, I will return to this...
Sunday, Robin, I've watched you two grow up and know your dispositions like the back of my hand. Both of you, right now, can surely be lauded as their most devout advocates. The magnitude of this matter is enormous and cannot be taken lightly. Since Mr. Yang has asked with such earnestness, I will personally... Someday, might I ask you to beseech them to cast their light unto me and question me in their stead?
I will do as you command.
Robin, could I entrust you to be present as a witness, to document the truth, and to proclaim my innocence, so that all slander may be...
I will do as you command.
May thy will be carried out on earth, just as it is.
Oh, triple-faced soul, please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate...
Let us begin. 'There is nothing else to prepare.
Understood. Question. Have you devoted your life to your god, never worshipping other gods?
Naturally.
Do you love your god as you do yourself, always heeding their admonishments?
Naturally.
Have you strayed from the path expected by your god, betraying their name?
Never.
Have you ever been inordinate with your asks of your god, coveting more than the foundation of the creation itself?
Never.
Then, a final question. Do you swear to fulfill all vows, past, present, and future?
With the Eon as my witness, if I do not deliver on my words, or if I renege on my vows, may I be cursed in accordance with divine...
They have seen your faith, and have endorsed your faith. With this...
Just a moment.
What?
I have another question I hope to have answered. To my understanding, the family's harmony and prosperity have never relied on so-called the god you both mentioned. Are they truly...
Mr. Yang should know that those belonging to the family toil together as if they were kin, embracing solidarity, such a delicate and complex symphony. Which other god could perfectly harmonize this, if not...
Perfectly harmonize? Therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider lurking in the shadows who changed the harmony, but a dissonance that has surreptitiously emerged from within the distant past. There existed an Eon. With one flick of the wrist, they crafted the laws of the cosmos. Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir, spreading solemn. Later, they fell. The route traversed by this Eon clashed with the harmony, ultimately being absorbed and fused into it. The chorus that once reverberated across worlds fell. Though an Eon may perish, paths with no masters still linger. In the all-forgiving harmony, echoes of bygone dissonance may...
Mr. Yang, being overly astute can be a detriment. Especially when you find yourself alone.
So this is how it is.
For the sake of our grand cause, Sunday, please afford these two an opportunity to rest.
What?
Sorry, Robin. It's just you. I did not wish for you to know this.
So, this is the true reason I can't sing? The shadow...
We were never children of the harmony. Our ideal paradise could not have been crafted by Xipe. True bliss can only be guaranteed by the one who transcends the many. Within the foundation of law, humanity establishes civilization, and through harmony, we obtain.
Unbelievable. To think that there would be remnants of the Order on Penacony.
What have you done with Mr. Yang and Miss Ru...
Don't worry. I just gave them some time alone to ponder their fate.
You should know that these actions make you an enemy of the Astral Express.
Should we need to stand against the Nameless, it would only be myself and the Oak family involved. But your efforts for the justice of Penacony are evident to everyone. Patience is a virtue. However, I won't hold it against you.
If it is the Order that drove you to imprison Welt and Robin, and you're using them to coerce our compliance, then there'll be no point in entertaining any type of discussion.
You're mistaken, Miss Himiko. They are in very safe hands, and just as the family has always proclaimed, no one can be harmed in the dreamscape. Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. The strong wield their blades against the weak, and the victors push the vanquished to the brink of life. Natural selection. The world abides by this principle, establishing the well-being of humanity atop the corpses of the downtrodden. Only we...
So you've decided to resurrect a dead Eon? No one's ever done such a thing.
If Miss Himiko is interested, let's draw back the veil and speak candidly. I've always firmly believed that people can understand one another through peaceful means. I'm willing to divulge the unembellished truth as to the intentions of the Order's Pathstriders, so that you will make better judgment for the Astral Express, for Penacony, and for this stretch of the universe. Words can hardly do justice, so come with me, everyone. Let us retrace our steps and see once again where this road leads.
Huh? Where'd he go?
Welcome. This isn't any location in Penacony's dreamscape. It's my inner world. The reason the scenery before you remains unchanged is because your consciousness has drawn on similar concepts.
Did you do the same to Welt?
It's a tuning process, stronger in effect and more draining on the mind. The gray-haired guest has experienced it before, so he should understand what it entails. Tuning allows you to intuitively grasp my feelings, which also means now, everyone, please look at the huge screen. The road we once took begins here. From this point on, you will witness the numerous decisions I've faced. I've selected a portion of these to share with you. I believe after going through similar predicaments, you'll be able to better understand my thoughts. Let's begin. The first decision. This story happened when Robin and I were very young. We were victims of the Stellaron disaster, and the family's Mr. Gopher Wood, who would later become the Dream Master of Penacony, saw that we siblings had no later on. Robin and I lived a time with nary a care in the world. One day, after dinner, while my younger sister... That baby bird was tiny. It didn't even have all of its feathers, and it couldn't sing. When we found it, it was already on its last breath, having fallen into a shrub. We decided to build a nest for it right there and then. However, thinking back, that winter was unusually cold, with fierce winds at night in the yard, not to mention the many poisonous bugs and wild. It was clear that if we left the fledgling in the yard, it stood no chance of surviving until spring. So, I suggested we take it inside, place it on the shelf by the window. We decided that when it regained its strength enough to spread its wings, we would release it back into the wild. The tragic part, something that we'd never considered, its destiny was determined by our moment. Now, I pass the power of choice to you all. Faced with this situation, stick to the original plan and build a nest with soft net where the Charmony dove fell. Or build a cage for it and feed it, giving it the utmost care from within the warmth of a home. I eagerly await your answer.
I can't decipher his intentions right now, but based solely on that question, even if I was gonna release it back into the sky.
It looks like he really has no intention of imprisoning us. Back to the question. I would for no special reason.
That guy just casually throws this kind of... If it were me, I guess I'd choose after all. Leaving it there, it's...
happy to see that you made a choice similar to ours. If your mind is made up, let me reveal the outcome of this choice. We passionately nursed it back to health, preparing only the best food for it every day. We even preened its... I watched it for a long while by the window, probably about 3 or so days. In those 3 long days, the little charm finally, on the 137th attempt, it succeeded. But its attempt did not go perfectly. The fall shattered its wings. It writhed helplessly in my embrace. But it was all for naught, finally succumbing to a painful demise. And in that instant, our tender care, our given love, I deeply regret the choices we made. Next, let us head. This story happened when I was appointed as Bronze Melodia, a position exclusive to the Oak family, charged with listening to the problems and vexations of Dreamscape residents, and providing them with the... It was during that period that I had the opportunity to hear voices from all corners of the Dreamscape. Joy, sorrow, arrogance. He was a dream chaser, and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest of them, he came to Penacony. He told me, I sold everything I could at home. The house, he had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune, and enjoy Penacony's beautiful dream with them. After hearing the Dream Chaser's story, I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. That way, at least he could live peacefully. But I was still too naive to the ways of the world. I did not anticipate. I'll tell you the outcome soon. For now, will you do as I did, and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit, so that the Dream Chaser may live, or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels, until his inevitable judgment arrives? I look forward to everyone's decisions. Who knows? Perhaps they might even alter the outcome of this tragedy. It seems you, like me, are pondering whether a different choice better outcome. Say he never gets caught. He would only die from delirium. The methods with which illegal stowaways enter dreams are unorthodox. Should he be apprehended? Could the hounds afford to turn a blind eye? The answer as to your choice. I once again offer my heartfelt apologies. And the story this time. This story happened the day I was appointed the Oak family head. Mr. Gopherwood was the master, and as per his wish, we had a private conversation. What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter to me. He let me read it. The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just as I started wondering how this letter related to our discussion,
Do you know who wrote this letter?
my sister, of course. But why would you personally visit me to hand me a letter?
To help you grasp the full scope of this issue. Do you know where Robin is?
From what the letter indicates, she must be in Caspelina 8, correct? She's touring there right now.
Correct. Has she mentioned anything about a stray... A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this very reason that Robin chose this destination. To spread the word. She hoped to ease the people's suffering with song, and was willing to brave mortal danger to deliver the IP.
Is she all right?
If the operation was successful, she should probably be recovering In the field by the eon above, the bullet struck her neck directly, yet possibly as a reward for her consistent deeds of harmony. It didn't hit any vital arteries. Once you've attended to your outstanding tasks, it'd be advisable to write her back.
Those damned savages! I'll pack my bags right away. My gratitude for bringing this to my attention. Now you understand why she always wears such elaborate neck ornaments.
How could this happen?
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope that you will understand the harm. Likewise, I've prepared one last question. One last, because this is merely a figment of imagination. A nightmare that has haunted me through count. Would you still support Robin's journey on the path? I am now aware of everyone's stances. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise can only be established through the order where the strong govern the weak. I know the suffering of being tormented, the turmoil of losing your way, how sorrow and even despair set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain, because this is not what happiness is at all. We must teach the weak how to live a happy life, and this life isn't some noble propriety that the upper crust preaches, but it...
So what is your definition of living a happy?
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion, a cage known as self-worth. People lured in by this illusion make mistakes. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages culminate to form a prison, a place dictated only by the rule of survival. Nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis, that is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor face the weaknesses of humanity. They can cast aside their primal instincts to build a haven for... Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract, so allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal norms like weekend. During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to extricate themselves from the stresses of everyday life, allowing a certain tranquility to return. And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey on the weak. They can live out their lives happily during these brief intermissions. It's just a pity that 2 or 3 days are still too fleeting compared to the span of a lifetime. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession of Sundays. This should be the face of... And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some days, there would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face the inevitable end with the purest of spirit. Living a life of dignity. Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome, you of all.
It sounds like a flawless...
But what is the...
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained for everyone, someone must remain trapped in some...
Awakening. Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering, it is only...
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them. In other words...
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as to why we sleep, it is because we are afraid. But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the frailty of human nature. And from there...
I admit that you are a born leader. Your perspective on humanity brims with pessimism. Yet you express compassion. But unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves is their birthright. The want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak or not, it perhaps in your mind, you also view... Because
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also naturally give you our answer. We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before. Tell him our choice.
What is this?
Does this place ring any bells, Misha?
I don't know. But
It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless. Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memories, and a dream bubble can't take shape if it's core, so I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha. As a hotel doorman, you know Penacony best among us.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but if you want to figure out what this mansion is, I'll do my best.
I'm counting on you then.
Himeko, I still don't get it. Why were you so sure that Misha had a connection with this dream?
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since Misha feels familiar with this... Exactly. This is where you and Firefly encountered death, which we now know as... The question now is, who brought you here? Based on the clues we have so far, it's unlikely to be that masked fool. So identifying them is crucial. We're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's give Misha some time, as I believe he'll unveil the...
All right, but there are doors all over the place.
I guess... I'm not entirely sure, but... Let's give it a try.
Wait, you managed to choose the right...
Weird. This place is quite different from the hotel. But if I remember correctly, there should be a fireplace down that hallway. And the room on the other side was the toy room. I loved... Hold on. This doesn't make sense. Didn't...
This could be a case of amnesia. Don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget certain aspects of the past. Those memories haven't vanished. They're just lying in the depths. Since this place seems familiar to you, why don't we explore a few more rooms? And
Yeah, then let's check out the rooms I just...
Mikhail, that's the name. Now we all know him as the Watchmaker. So, who is he
I'm sorry, I don't know
anything special?
Mikhail is...
Grandpa? Do you mean...
But we haven't heard anything about the Watchmaker having descendants. And the name Mikhail. Could you tell us more about your grandpa?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured into mysterious seas and storms. He was always on the sea and had lots of friends. He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed he was still young. Every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with me and tell me about his adventures at sea. I want to become a great adventurer.
It appears that the seafarer has nothing to do with the Watchmaker. So where is your grandpa now?
He went off on a new journey. And so, where has Clocky gone? Did he leave to protect Dreamville? I heard some noises from the room. Origami...
You and Origami...
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew, just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one origami bird. They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on the ship. They're the best sailors.
Sailors?
Could you tell us more about the Compass?
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the depths of the sea. Whenever there is danger, Clocky...
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon, Clocky and his partners have always lived in dream...
Huh? Oh, weird. I clearly remember... Clocky arrived in the New World in the end.
Perhaps Clocky has a hidden past.
I think I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead. Look, there it is!
The water resembles a precious jewel, embedded in the dreams of all seafarers. Every time I gaze at the shimmering lights beneath the waves, it feels as though I'm back in this place, standing by your side.
Have you recalled anything, Misha?
Yeah, I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say that despite the perils of the sea, whenever he stood on the deck in the afternoon, overlooking the sparkling waves, he would think of that. He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family's side. And the difficult...
You know... Hey, don't tease! I was...
Perhaps every adventurer far from home carries a fountain within their soul. Even though the other side of the sea remains shrouded in the unknown, the fountain in front of his house serves as a compass, leading him back.
Yeah, while Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fountain and place the compass. Then I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him, and he would always...
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer and has nothing to do with the Watchmaker.
Yeah. Based on Misha's recollections, the scenes in the dream bubble appear to...
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on an oceanic planet and led an ordinary... Could this be some sort of metaphor?
I'm sorry. I don't know, but perhaps I'll remember more things if we... I wish to share your burden.
going to the opposite side, right?
No, we should turn left here.
Huh? Something feels different about this place.
Up ahead is Grandpa's study.
The atmosphere in this room feels totally different.
Misha! You finally come!
Clocky! Here!
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, he placed a logbook on the bookshelf in his room. He described our world as a fountain. At some to ensure that everyone had land to settle on. He had to continue exploring the sea in search for the source of the rising sea. On that day, he called me to his study, telling me that he was embarking on another journey. However, I could sense the gravity in his expression. I asked him if I could go with him, but he said that my adventure lay elsewhere and told me to stay home.
What sound?
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky, an ocean of stars. He said that he knew the crew on the train, and that he had asked them to take me along.
A train? Could it...
It's the Astral Express. I remember now. Grandpa's friends are a group of nameless who came to this world to resolve a disaster caused by a star. Then, he gave his pocket watch to me. It was his cherished treasure, appearing in every one of his adventure tales. He explained that difficult times were ahead, but he said, as long as I kept moving forward, the distant sound of a train whistle.
Exactly, Misha! And then we followed that whistle, didn't we?
Yeah. I think
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So...
Do you remember? You said you obtained a
Hey, the shape seems to match.
Looks like we're just one step from revealing the truth.
This is it. This, while I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his voyage. Walter gave me this workshop. It became my secret base. Here, I learned how to repair clockwork and gears out of my fondness of precision mechanics. In my dreams, I was the captain of the compass.
So, this building in the dream bubble is your childhood home?
Yes, this dream bubble itself.
Looks like...
Wait. Why does it feel like everyone else knows something I don't?
March, do you remember when he mentioned a clocky that only...
Yeah, the little guy here, right? But we all saw him in Dreamflux Reef, right?
Looks like everyone on the Astral Express has a childlike spirit.
The answer lies in the Astral Express. His experience shows that neither Firefly nor... And when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that for some reason, nobody outside of the crew had ever talked with Clocky. A mimetic life that can only be seen by a select few. It's just like a hidden...
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together. But Misha hasn't started.
That's the key to the mystery, March. Now, have you ever seen anyone outside of the crew interact with Misha?
Wait.
That's the answer, March 7th. This dream bubble is the place where I was born. And I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merged, I unconsciously pushed open that door.
So it's not that the Watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, but rather, and the whistle you heard, was the sound of the express arriving at Penacony?
That's one way to see it, but I believe there's a longer story behind all this. How about we start with your name? Now should we call...
Thank you all for helping me rediscover my truth. I was born on Lushaka, in the Presmere system, adopted by seafarers Mikhail and Char. They gave me a treasure, a name. Mikhail Char Legwork, or simply, Misha. If you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name, the Watchmaker.
So, you're the Watchmaker himself?
Unfortunately, that legendary figure. As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist of Misha's childhood dream. A friend of Clocky, a young apprentice, and a future mechanic on the... And this also marks the beginning of his journey, devoted
At the end of the journey, I left this little flame, which I so cherished. In my... However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. I apologize.
Because he was born with a desire to trailblaze, wasn't he? I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it, and that's why he mistakenly appeared as a hotel doorman in his dream from the very beginning. The one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's the case, we encountered the Watchmaker's legacy from the beginning, didn't we?
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that's what every nameless has to go through, but in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my legacy is. I believe my hound has... If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. As for my wealth, however, it's... I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to various planets until finally reaching. I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to overcome the obstacles in my... So, if you ask what's left within this worn-out train engine that can be called a legacy, I suppose now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony, I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you. For all I have for you is a story and two gifts. I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey, guiding that naive child forward. And my hat, too. The one who navigated for me placed it on my head and planted a fanciful thought now. It's time for you to make your choice. Once you've made up your mind, open that door. I'll be waiting for you at the end of this corridor of time.
All right, everyone. Let's make a decision, although I don't think anyone will have any objection.
Of course. We've come this far.
In that case, then let's proceed together to the end of this stream.
Mikhail, where are you going?
Someone has to step up and save Lushaka. So why can't it be me, Misha?
Please don't go. And if you must, please take me with you. Don't leave me alone.
Even without me, you know how to proceed forward, brave Captain Misha. The compass is waiting for you. Now go, board that train and start your journey.
Where are you going, Mikhail?
I'm going to clean the floor in the parlor car. I've promised the conductor.
Wait, first tell me, did you fix this watch?
Yeah?
I know what it looked like before. Its chain was broken, the back case torn, and the marks on the dial all worn out. How did you manage?
Well, it's hard to explain, but I knew it could be fixed. It's the hands, Mr. Amundsen. Its hands were intact and pointing in the right direction, so I knew there would be a way to fix the rest.
I see. You'll work with me from now on. Haven't you always wanted to tinker with this train? You're its mechanic.
But I only know how to fix watches.
Don't worry. You've got what it takes. I'll teach you.
Where are you going, legwork? It's time to head to our next stop. I'm staying in Astana with Rosalina and Tiernan. I see. This place the people of Astana have only achieved a tiny victory and still have a long way to go towards true freedom. Don't worry, not all journeys lead to the stars. Even if I leave the Express, our path of
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't stay on the Express forever.
This is Mr. Amundsen's hat.
When he departed, farewell, legwork. Take care of Tiernan and Rosalina. And
Don't worry, Micah. Just going on a little trip. Someone has to be at the forefront of the interstellar frontier, and I'm the only former nameless in Penacony. So
Because you're all we have! Have you forgotten about Tiernan?
The cost.
But what will happen to Penacony if we don't find a way out?
Tiernan. How could I ever forget him? I've spent countless sleepless nights asking myself, we nameless won't stop. Don't worry, Micah. It's just a matter of getting back to my old profession. Just if I don't come back in one piece, then you'll become the next.
Where are you going, old man?
Oh, you're here.
Answer my question. What are you up to?
Relax, Gallagher. I just came up with a great idea.
Oh, come on! Aren't all your ideas just ways to get yourself killed? I may be blunt here, but if you die too, the secret of the Stellaron...
Yes, I'm afraid there's no way out in Penacony, so I'll have to consider alternative. We'll organize a festival using the Watchmaker's legacy as a facade, and send invitations to the entire cosmos to gather people here.
So...
Desperate. Don't we have you here, my friend? This task is challenging, but what hasn't been challenging for us along the way? Make sure to send an invitation to the Astral Express.
Misha! Where are you going?
Oh, it's you, Clocky. Take me. Last night, I had a long dream about the day we met.
Write it down.
Oh, so I won't forget it. Do you remember how you got your name?
Of course! You told me that when you were a kid, you lived in a room full of clocks. Those wall clocks and pocket watches grew up with you and were your best friends.
Yes, but what I didn't mention was there's a funny misunderstanding. I was a kid, and there was always a special pocket watch in my memories. It was with my grandpa, guiding him on. I wanted to have a pocket watch like that too. And that's when you appeared in my dreams.
Yeah.
Every night, we boarded the...
But you know what? It wasn't until the day my grandma gave it to me that I realized it was so. Your name should have been Ken the Watchmaker.
We've arrived at Dreamflux Reef. So, where to next?
You know, Clocky, I don't think I'll be going anywhere else. I've traveled far enough, and it's time for a little break.
Oh. So, we'll set out again.
No, I'll stay here. And then...
This is... where it ends? You told me that the trailblazing expedition...
Yeah, that's what I said. So now, it's up to you to decide your next destination.
My next destination? Misha? You're acting weird today. If you're feeling down...
No, I'm not feeling down. As for clockwork, yeah, it resolves all problems in this dream. So, do you know what clockwork actually... Well, everyone gets lost at times. They may hesitate and doubt which way to go. That happens in this dreamscape and beyond. But don't worry. Everyone goes through moments of uncertainty and hesitation. Eventually, whether it's calming, joyful, angry, or sad, all they need is a little nudge to take. I'm leaving that little nudge with you, and I hope you'll share it with others. Such is the essence of clockwork, the will of the trailblaze. Clocky's hands spin around non-stop, indicating confusion, frustration, and weakness. But ultimately, people still need to move forward.
Just like your hands, always pointing ahead. This is where my journey ends. From now on, it is your path to walk.
Trailblazing means taking paths your predecessors forswore, and venturing even further. The Penacony in Mikhail's dreams does not belong to order.
I can't believe that Eon would cast a glance at Penacony at a time like this. Is it because of the resonance from the legacy of the Trailblaze? Or perhaps the bond between you is so strong that it even impresses an Eon?
Well, there might be another possibility. Perhaps they want to witness, on behalf of the fallen Eons, who will hold the future of Penacony.
If that's the case, on behalf of the Dream Master of Penacony and the 107,336 members of the Oak, I'm cordially inviting you all to the Penacony Grand Theater to participate in the upcoming Charmony Festival. And, of course, you won't, since the future of the Stellaron, Penacony, and even the entire cosmos is at stake. Let's draw a conclusion there. In all fairness, if you truly believe in Akavili's path, then show me their courage and determination.